Interesting theory. Hold on with me a minute.
You were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah.
So he said, perhaps our new God will come from Memphis. And then giggled hysterically about it. And Jordan Peterson said, I wish that were funny. Hold on. I got more.
Bob Joyce is not Elvis. This is the psyop they want you to believe so you do not know the truth. Look how easily you can find this on Google. Now, I've done a lot of videos on who he actually is, and he is even telling you. But I've never done one where I've compiled all the smoking guns. So you just sit right back and you watch this and you try telling me that Elvis is Bob Joyce after this. And keep in mind, I've done this a lot, and faces don't line up perfectly unless they're the same person. Case in point, I've been told I look like Sly sometimes, and we don't match up at all. Now let's start here and watch how this face can perfectly morph into this face. Perfectly. Literally perfectly. Kind of looks like Biff Tannen in the middle here.
Now go watch that whole video. That's the fittest flat earther. He's got great content, and he compares these faces. I don't know why my eyes look so weird. Go watch that. But I have more. Now, Elvis was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, but moved to Memphis and started his career in Memphis. The light is hitting my eyes just weird. That is not my eye color. Is there a filter on? Maybe I have a filter on. That's so weird. Okay, those aren't my eyes. Anyway, he moved to Memphis, and then he started his music career in Memphis at Sun Records. But wait, I have more.
You cannot make this up. I can't believe I forgot to bring something up in this video yesterday. In that video, I was talking about this Instagram post by Don Jr., where he is clearly disclosing that his father is a goat. And they sure like to put truth in plain sight, because Donald Trump is for sure a goat, a Judas goat. Now, you may be wondering, what's a Judas goat? Well, I would love to tell you. So a Judas goat is a trained goat used in animal herding. Judas goats are trained to associate with sheep or cattle and lead them to a specific destination. In stockyards, a Judas goat will lead sheep to the slaughter, while its own life is spared. As we can see right here from this old photo where we have a Judas goat who has gained the trust of the flock, leading them to their demise. Now, it is self-explanatory where they got this name from Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed Jesus. I find it interesting how the disciples had no idea who the betrayer was. They thought Judas was saved, but in reality, he never trusted in Messiah. He had a facade, and he acted like he was a follower because he was stealing from the treasury. All he cared about was worldly prosperity, and he was willing to put on a facade to fool everybody to act like he was a Christian. Who does that remind you of? And also, we can't forget about the sheep and goat judgment found in Matthew 25, how when Jesus comes back, he will divide his sheep from the goats, where he will set his sheep on the right hand, but the goats on the left. Now, there's some interesting differences between a sheep and a goat. A goat is more mischievous, more independent, and will try to escape, while the sheep is more of a flock animal, a herd animal, and likes to be together with a unit. So I find it very telling that Don Jr. is telling you exactly who Trump is. Just as the Judas goat leads the flock to its destruction, likewise, this Judas goat right here has gained the trust of individuals, but in reality, he is leading them to their demise. The ultimate demise of this future right here, which will be the Antichrist beast system of control and surveillance, where through technology and artificial intelligence will control humanity, leading people right into the Novus Ordo Secularum, or we know what he likes to call it, the Golden Age, where spiritually speaking, this is the Tower of Babel 2.0, uniting and connecting humanity to rebel against God. Now, there is one last little interesting detail that you can go do your own research on about this whole idea of Trump being the goat, which is the I Pet Goat 2 short film.
Now, if you haven't watched I Pet Goat 2, you need to go and watch it. It will open your eyes. It was released, I don't know, at least 8 years ago. It feels like it was a long time ago anyway. That was Matt in that last video. He also has great content. Go check him out. But it just made me think of the fact that Lucifer is said to also be half man, half goat. He has goat feet, if you remember. And did we go from being the king of rock and roll to being the king of the entire world? You know, Lucifer wanted nothing more than to be worshipped. That's what he wanted. That's why he fell. He wanted to take God's throne. And people worshipped Elvis. And now people are worshiping this man. Also makes me think of the 17th letter of the alphabet, those drops that I'm talking about, talking in code here. In those drops, there was lots of references to hold on, don't do anything. There is people in the military good people who are in charge, who are going to take over. All these excuses for why we couldn't stand up and rebel, trying to avoid a civil WAR, all these things. Hold on, the military is going to save us and all this stuff. Well, the same thing happened in Russia, and it's called the Holodomor. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. The Holodomor happened between 1932 and 1933 in Russia. And the reason for that name is that Holodomor is derived from Ukrainian words, holod meaning hunger and mort meaning to exterminate. And some say it was worse than the actual Holocaust. And it was devastating. It was a man-made famine that took place in Soviet Ukraine, resulting in the death of millions of Ukrainians. And they implemented policies of forced collectivization in the agricultural sector, aiming to consolidate individual farms into state-controlled collective farms. These policies were part of Stalin's larger plan to rapidly industrialize the Soviet Union. Many people were thrown into gulags who resisted the collectivization. They literally went from house to house and confiscated any food storage, grain storage, anything that they had, and they imposed harsh penalties on those caught hoarding their own things that they grew. Anything you grew had to be given to the government to be collectivized. This was then covered up by the government, and he completely denied the existence of the famine and prohibited any mention of it in the press. And there is a debate today over whether it was a side. And it totally was. Some say it was worse than what happened in Germany, and some even say that the photos were taken from the Holodomor, not from Germany. Speaking in code here, but you know what I mean. Go check it out. And also, go watch I Pet Goat 2. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. It's, we're being led as sheep to the slaughter. And there's lots of verses in the Bible about this. Jeremiah 23 is all about the shepherds who are leading his sheep to the slaughter. So, go check that out too. And let me know what you think of this theory, because it's crazy, but it's... Oh, and I forgot to add that Elvis also died in Memphis. In Memphis, Egypt. I'm not in Memphis, Egypt, Memphis, USA.